Hi there, everyone. It is currently the 13th of January 2014, the mid part of winter out here, and you would be surprised that we're talking about an area in the tropics. Over the Philippines, we have a low pressure trough really at this time, very disorganized. It could intensify still into a tropical depression, but since yesterday, our area out here has been discontinued by the Japan Meteorological Agency, and they no longer expect this to intensify any further. So right now, just moving west very slowly, but more so the whole moisture column is just lifting farther and farther towards the north. Speaking of Japan and the Japan Meteorological Agency, let's take a look at some images from 1 year ago today. It's actually a holiday today here in Japan. It's the coming of age day when women, when they're 20 years old, they go out and celebrate becoming an adult. Well, last year, a lot of people's plans were quite ruined due to some significant snowfall and definitely the heaviest snow of 2013. Thankfully, it is chilly out here in Tokyo today, but nothing quite like this. The Sea of Japan coastline, on the other hand, well, you can see that sea effect snow continuing to kick up, those winds coming in from the northwest towards the southeast, and that all just piles up here along the coastline. In some areas, you're seeing up to about 50 centimeters within just a 24-hour period. So if you like snow, that is the place to go. It is not going to be tapering off in the near future. Meanwhile, China, you're continuing to remain rather, well, chilly out here. The Harbin Ice Festival is going on in northeastern China at this time, and calm winds are going to continue to linger, so things will remain chilly definitely through the overnight hours. It's going to feel like the polar vortex, quote unquote, that you see in the United States. Temperatures right around minus 20 to minus 30. That is typical for that area of the world. Let's get back to the tropic zone, talk about this low pressure area, and that is really the big topic though today. Very broad circulation. This is looking ahead into Tuesday, and you can just see that just overall circulation very disorganized, extending across the southern portions of the Philippines. It's a northern extent though. This is where you're going to be seeing that moisture line up, and you're also seeing the gale force winds. We actually got reports from James Reynolds, who was over in Samar here on Sunday, and he was saying that the winds were very gusty, tents were starting to blow around, and definitely not very pleasant for a lot of people who are currently living in temporary shelters here along the eastern seaboards. At the same time, Mindanao has been impacted by heavy rainfall, causing several landslides. Hundreds of people have had to be evacuated due to this severe flooding and just a persistent rainfall that has been taking place over the past several days. This is one landslide here in Composta Stella Valley, and it was actually taken by a NOAA patroller who was out and about taking some photos here, and just one image of the numerous images we have been seeing here of the damage across much of eastern and northern Mindanao. Now, the big question is, how long is this going to be lasting? Well, you've seen that northeast monsoon, the winds coming in from the northeast were really battering the eastern seaboards. I'm mentioning that because that is a direct result of our high pressure off here towards the north over China, which is keeping things chilly. That's why I started off mentioning that. This all ties in together. You have the sea effect snow here, the winds wrap around, go down towards the southeast, and this high pressure acts as a wall. So since our low pressure area is so crazy far south here, it's over Mindanao. It actually was south of Mindanao. Now it's lifting farther towards the north. It did not get picked up by our troughing farther here towards the northeast. That's where the low pressure area is. If this was a little bit farther towards the north, we would be saying, okay, there it goes. It's off towards the northeast. But unfortunately, luck is not favoring out here, and what's going to be happening is our low pressure area is going to continue to linger. It's not doing a loop or anything, it's just going to linger in the same place. Moisture will be skewed off towards the northeast, but the Sulu Sea is going to continue to feed into this, and it's probably one of the warmest bodies of water in the northern hemisphere this time of year. And as it does continue to linger, it will just remain there, continue to pump moisture onshore across southern Luzon, Visayas, and northern Mindanao, especially most of it's going to be changing over towards the western seaboards. We could shift this up with GFS. We're actually looking at the NavGem model. GFS shows a very similar output, and moisture just continuing to linger here. So unfortunately, I know we've been saying that it should taper off by midweek. It looks like it may last throughout the rest of the week. That is not good news by any means out here, and it is going to be causing some problems. Maybe by next weekend it will move farther west, could be skewed off towards the northeast, but as you can see right here, look at those lines moving from west to east. That is at high pressure continuing to remain in place, and that will buffet this and keep that moisture just pushing on shore. So unfortunately, we have been seeing flooding, we have been seeing landslides, and I do really think that the threat is going to continue to linger here. This is a clear example of actually what I'm talking about with the high pressure. You have that high off here, that northeast monsoon. This is looking ahead in the midweek, by the way. We're talking about out towards about Wednesday and the Thursday. And take a look at some of these strong winds, actually, first before I dive into what's happening here. 62, 65 kilometers per hour. This is not anything pleasant. Eastern seaboards will continue to get impacted by 4 to 5 meter high waves, but our low spinning over the southern half of the Philippines here. And then we have that troughing. This is what I'm talking about right there. Now, it just doesn't pick it up quite enough for it to be pulled off towards the northeast, and that is what's really unfortunate. We were hoping this troughing would pick it up, and no, it looks like the high pressure will stay in place, but this is still going to skew a lot of the moisture off, so that at least is somewhat good news. And then we can look ahead into later on in the week, and our low starts to go farther west. We can see a circulation starting to spin up there. Then we also have another circulation farther east. Let's keep an eye on that, but for now, this is the big topic. Strong northeast monsoons. We got gusty winds in the northern half, and then the persistent heavy rains. But yeah, that is all for right now, everybody. Thanks for watching this full update here at westpacweather.com. I do apologize that this is continuing to linger in place. Unfortunately, that is the case. Don't expect it to intensify much more than what it is right now, though. A big blob of moisture. So please don't ask me the exact track, because right now it's just lingering in place. It's going to get skewed off towards the northeast, but eventually move towards the west later on this week. And that is really the problem with this storm. You can also check out some of our friends at mediaweather.com.ph. They're also putting out localized warnings and updates on this. So a lot going on. Stay safe out there, everybody, and thanks for watching.